My name is Sergeant Blake, and this is a demonstration of performing an end-to-end test with the 3515 Direct Connect test and the PRC-152. We're going to start with the basic cable setup for the test. You're going to start by connecting the antenna port of the radio to the TR port at the top of the 3515. Next, we're going to connect the COM breakout box to the remote port at the top of the 3515. The COM breakout box is SL3 to the 3515, and you'll find it in your black bags. Connected to that is a standard DB9 serial null modem adapter. This goes to the RS-232 port on the COM breakout box. Attached to that is the data remote cable for the PRC-152. Data remote cable comes to the remote port on the side of the 152. It's very important when attaching this to the side, don't put it in by sticking the cable on, threading it, and twisting it into place. You're going to break all of these pins. To actually attach the cable, you have to press it flush against the side and screw it down. Next, you're going to connect the Harris breakout box to the handset port on the 152. From receive audio in the breakout box to audio in on the 3515. Transmit audio in the breakout box to audio out on the 3515. Next, we'll start the test by going to the scripts menu. You're going to see the first option, which is the Direct Connect test. It's going to give you a basic info screen about the test, which test it is, which version of the TM it's written in accordance with, and contact information if you have any problems or questions. We're just going to go next and continue on into the test. The first thing it's going to do, it's going to initialize meters. So it's going to zeroize the power meter, perform some internal calibration on the 3515. Takes about a minute and a half, and it has to be done at the beginning of every test. Now that it's done initializing meters, it comes to the main menu of the test. First item is setup instructions. Setup instructions are going to start with a list of all the required equipment, which we've already gone over, and the basic cabling, which we've already gone over. The only thing we haven't covered is actually turning on the radio. For the PRC-152, you have to ensure it's in plain text and turn it to FP. It's very important to make sure it's in FP. The most common mistake with this test is Marines will turn to 1 and not FP, but the test won't run. So you have to make sure it's in FP. Alright, once it's done, make sure it comes to the main screen without any errors, and then it has a charged battery. We're going to back out to the main menu. The next item is Run Self-Test. When you go into Run Self-Test, the 3515 is going to send the command to begin the radio's built-in self-test. You'll see it on the front screen, Test in Progress. It's going to take about 30 seconds with the 152, and then you're going to see a note on the screen telling you to check the front screen of the radio, and you're going to click whether it passed or failed. The self-test is complete. You can see a note on the screen, check radio screen for results of self-test. This one is a low hub battery, but otherwise it's fine, so we're going to hit pass. You'll see to the left of self-test and that it passed the self-test. Next, it highlights Run Performance Test. The first time you go into the performance test screen, It's going to tell you that it's setting up the radio testing configuration. This is actually setting up a preset 99 specifically for testing on the radio. It takes about a minute to complete. It only has to be run the first time you go into the menu. If you back out and go back in, it'll remember that it's applied that configuration and not require you to do it again. Once the configuration has been complete, it'll actually go into the performance test screen. You're going to see a list of all the frequencies that Harris actually outlines in their IMA manuals. To run an end-to-end test, you just hit run, arrow, 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 and it'll take wherever the cursor is, which is currently on the first frequency, and run all the way to the end of the list. Now on the PRC-152, we test transmit and receive simultaneously for each frequency. Because there's a transmit portion of the test, you're going to have to key the radio. It'll count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then it's going to give you an audio alarm and a visual indicator. You're just going to key and hold the radio for the duration of the sound. When the sound is done, you're going to release. You can see that it passed, and it just rolls on to the next frequency. It'll go through and test everything until it gets to the very end. We're now testing our last frequency. Once all the tests in the screen have been run and they've all passed, it'll automatically go back out to the main menu and highlight the next item. Now it goes back out to the main menu, and it's highlighted Save Results. If you check the list, you'll see that we've completed everything for a full LTI. We've done the radio self-test, we've completed the performance test, so now we just hit Save. The file has been saved to the flash memory of the 3515, which can now be pulled off with a laptop via FTP. We go back out to the main screen. We select Clear Tests. Would you like to clear? We would. And now the test is reset and we're ready to test the next radio. And that's a complete end-to-end test on the AM PRC-152.